a major development in the war with Iran. Just minutes ago, U.S. sources confirmed to CNN that an American fighter jet has been shot down over Iran, and a desperate and very dangerous search and rescue mission for the crew is now underway.
The night sky over Iran suddenly erupted in flames. A McDonnell Douglas F-15E Strike Eagle had just been shot down deep inside hostile territory, sending shockwaves through Washington and the Pentagon. Within minutes, one question began to dominate the battlefield. Could the crew be rescued before Iranian forces reached them first? But what followed was far more than a rescue mission. Thousands of U.S. Navy special operators, including SEAL assault teams and rapid extraction units, were mobilized for one of the most dangerous operations inside Iran in recent history. This was not just about saving a pilot. This was about revenge, recovery, and sending a message that the United States does not leave its men behind. Suddenly, alarms begin echoing across the warship. The moment the news of the downed McDonnell Douglas F-15E Strike Eagle reaches the fleet, every second becomes critical. Navy personnel and special operations teams immediately rush across the deck, moving at full speed toward their assigned stations. Some head for the helicopter launch zone, while others move toward weapons positions and command posts. The atmosphere shifts from routine operations to full combat alert within moments. This is no ordinary deployment. This is the beginning of an emergency response mission deep into hostile territory. Offshore, multiple warships begin repositioning, preparing to support what may become one of the most dangerous rescue and revenge operations of the conflict. Within moments of the emergency alert, the rescue teams complete their final preparations. Every operator quickly secures his backpack, ammunition, medical kit, communication gear, and breaching equipment. There is no time for delay. Across the deck, the special operations teams move in formation toward the waiting helicopter as its rotors are already spinning at full speed. The aircraft has been kept hot and ready for immediate launch, signaling that the mission cannot wait another minute. One by one, the operators board with weapons in hand, knowing they are heading straight into hostile Iranian territory. This is no routine deployment. This is the launch phase of a high-risk rescue and retaliation operation. But the helicopter will not be flying into Iranian airspace alone. For its protection, Boeing F/A-18EF Super Hornet fighters begin launching one after another from the carrier deck. Their mission is to provide immediate air cover for the rescue helicopter and ensure that no Iranian fighters, drones, or missile units can threaten the extraction route. One by one, the jets roar off the flight deck, climbing rapidly into the night sky. Some move ahead to sweep the air corridor, while others remain close to the helicopter's path as armed escort. This protective shield in the sky is critical, because once the rescue team crosses into hostile territory, every second in the air becomes a potential target zone. The mission is now fully underway. Meanwhile, on the other side of the Gulf, activity intensifies at the U.S. military base in Qatar. As the rescue helicopter and escort fighters move toward Iranian airspace, troops and support crews at the forward base begin preparing for a wider military response. Armored vehicles are positioned, weapon systems are checked, and rapid response units move into combat readiness. This base now acts as the operational backbone of the mission, coordinating intelligence, air support, medical evacuation, and potential strike options if the rescue team comes under fire. While the first wave heads toward the crash zone, the second wave is already preparing for war. Back at the forward base, the next phase of the operation begins. The Boeing CH-47 Chinook is brought into position as troops begin loading inside with full combat gear. Unlike the first fast response helicopter, this aircraft is built to carry larger assault teams, heavy ammunition crates, medical kits, and extraction equipment. Operators move quickly up the rear ramp, securing weapons, backpacks, and rescue supplies before takeoff. Every seat inside the Chinook is now filled with personnel prepared for rapid insertion into the combat zone. If the rescue team on the ground needs reinforcement, this helicopter will become the backbone of the extraction and support mission. As the helicopter moves deeper into hostile airspace, the mission suddenly comes under fire. From the open side door, special operators begin returning fire from the helicopter, unleashing suppressive rounds toward enemy positions below. The muzzle flashes light up the darkness as the aircraft continues pushing forward without slowing down. This covering fire is critical. It keeps hostile forces pinned down while the helicopter approaches the extraction zone. Every burst from the door-mounted weapon is designed to protect the rescue team and keep the landing corridor open. At this point, the operation is no longer just a rescue mission. It has become a live combat extraction inside enemy territory. Within minutes, the aircraft crosses into Iranian territory. Below, the landscape stretches into darkness, mountains, desert roads, and scattered military positions hidden across the terrain. The helicopter now flies low and fast, staying close to the ground to reduce the risk of radar detection. Every movement is calculated to avoid Iranian air defense systems and patrol units searching the area. Inside the aircraft, the operators remain locked in silence, weapons ready, knowing they are now deep inside hostile territory. There is no turning back. From this point forward, the mission depends on speed, precision, and surprise. Above the rescue corridor, the Bell AH-1Z Viper moves into position as armed overwatch. Flying ahead of the transport helicopter, the gunship scans every road, ridgeline, and suspected enemy position below. Its sensors and targeting systems sweep the terrain for any Iranian patrol units moving toward the crash zone. The moment hostile movement is detected, the Viper opens fire, delivering precise suppressive bursts onto enemy positions. This attack helicopter is not just escorting the mission, it is actively clearing the path for the rescue team. Every sweep across the terrain reduces the risk of an ambush before the landing begins. From inside the cockpit, the crew switches to thermal imaging and begins scanning the terrain below. Every heat signature, vehicle engine, and suspicious movement is carefully tracked through the sensor display. The objective is to identify enemy patrols, hidden vehicles, and any forces moving toward the downed McDonnell Douglas F-15E Strike Eagle crash site. In the darkness, even a single heat source can reveal an ambush. The crew continues sweeping the ground, marking anything suspicious before the rescue team moves closer. At this stage, intelligence from the air becomes just as important as firepower. But the danger is no longer only on the ground. If any Iranian drone appears in the airspace, the Bell AH-1Z Viper immediately moves to intercept. From its forward position, the gunship scans the sky and surrounding terrain for incoming UAVs attempting to track or attack the rescue force. The moment a drone is detected, the helicopter opens fire, using rapid suppressive bursts to destroy the threat before it can relay the team's position. In this phase of the mission, even a single drone surviving long enough to transmit coordinates could expose the entire operation. That is why the Viper remains locked into constant air watch, protecting the rescue corridor from above. Meanwhile, on the ground, the next layer of support is already being prepared. Crews move quickly around the M142 HIMARS, loading rockets and bringing the launcher into firing position. This system is kept ready to provide long-range precision strikes if Iranian forces begin closing in on the rescue zone. From miles away, HIMARS can target troop movements, vehicle convoys, and hostile positions threatening the extraction route. While the helicopters move deeper into Iran, the ground support network is already preparing to strike at a moment's notice. This ensures that the rescue team is back not only from the air, but also by devastating long-range firepower. The moment has finally arrived. With air cover above and ground support now in position, the rescue force moves into the final phase of the mission. Troops push forward through the hostile zone, advancing toward the crash site, while helicopters maintain overwatch from above. Every movement is fast and coordinated, because Iranian forces could close in at any moment. The objective is clear, secure the area, recover the downed crew, and extract before the enemy can surround the zone. At this point, the mission is no longer about preparation. It is now about survival, speed, and bringing the team home. By the end of the operation, what began as the downing of a McDonnell Douglas F-15E Strike Eagle had turned into a full-scale military response deep inside hostile territory. From the first alarm on the carrier deck to the final push near the crash zone, every phase of the mission was executed with speed and overwhelming force. Boeing F, A-18E, F Super Hornet fighters secured the skies. Bell AH-1Z Viper gunships cleared the Tariq below. And the M142 HIMARS stood ready to strike any Iranian movement threatening the extraction route. Helicopters pushed deep into Iranian territory, scanning every ridge, every road, and every suspicious heat signature as the rescue force closed in on the downed crew. What Iran expected to become a symbolic victory instead triggered one of the fastest and most aggressive rescue operations of the conflict. But this was more than a recovery mission. It was a direct message the United States does not abandon its men, and any strike against its forces will be answered with overwhelming speed and force. For Iran, the downing of the F-15 may have been the beginning. For the US Navy and the SEAL teams moving through the darkness, it became the reason for retaliation. The mission was not only about rescue, it was about revenge.